We are live. What is up, everybody? Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you with another episode of the Fit Parent Project. Today, I am joined by a guest, and it is not a new guest. They have been here on the podcast before, but it's been a hot minute. We
Mhm.
literally just looked it up before we hit live, and it was in June of 2023. And a lot has changed since then, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, my amazing client, Kourtney Miller, she's here with me today on this episode of the podcast. So say what's up, Kourtney. Hi, how's it going? Thanks for coming.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm tired, but I'm here.
That coffee. I think you have a cup
Exactly.
too. Yeah.
Exactly where I'm at.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was definitely the caffeine train has been chugging a lot harder this month, and just like that's just how it's gonna be for me anyways until probably the end of February.
Yeah.
But it's for a good reason. So but yeah, so welcome back to the podcast. I'm super excited to have you here. And I'm really excited just because like I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. I might have had maybe a return guest, like maybe one or two other times, but it's been a hot minute since that, and it's been a minute since I've had a client on the podcast. So I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to talk about your journey. What's changed since even since the last podcast, and just kind of share some insights about what you got going on, and yeah, just hopefully inspire some other people to maybe go for it and make that change in their own lives, because there's a lot of people that are between now and February that are going to be thinking about like, hey, I want to start my journey. And so for you, like for those but nobody, some people probably haven't even heard the first episode that we did together, so like, do you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Oh gosh. I don't know. What do you want to know? I've been in the program.
How old are you? When did you start the program? And uh yeah, what are your goals, or what was your goal?
Okay, so I am 37, mom of four, uh, household of God, we have 10 people in my house right now. Um, so talk about chaotic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I have a full-time day job, a secondary job, kind of a third job.
All the jobs.
um, let's see. When I started this, I was in a really bad spot, super
Hmm.
overweight, a lot of health problems, missing out on life,
Yeah.
which was my biggest goal, was to be able to get some of that back.
Hmm.
Missing out on my family, and to me, they're the most important thing. So
Hmm.
I wanted to be able to be part of that and be there for them. So I needed to take control.
Start putting in that work. And I love that. And I think something that I really like about like our community, like that we've got going on in our program, and just everybody that like is in the community itself, like a lot of us are parents, like a lot
Mhm.
of us are, not everybody, but a lot of us are. And I feel like a lot of people, they like a big underlying like part of their foundation of like why they are working towards what they're working towards, because they want to be there for their family, like as their like best self, like healthiest self. And that like fear of missing out, and it's not even like a fear of missing out, it's like literally missing out on certain
Mhm.
parts of your family's lives. And like a lot of people who are our parents that are like younger kids, like it's like that stuff goes by quick, like that goes by so. But you got some older
Yeah.
kids too, like you got some, like mine's 6.5, and it's just like, holy crap, like he was just
Yeah.
like one like the other day, and it's like this is going way too fast. So yeah, I've always wondered too, like because like I've got a 6-year-old. How old are your kiddos?
My youngest is 17.
Okay.
He's my most active,
Yep.
the one that I challenge myself to keep up with. So he's probably our most social child.
Hmm.
He's extreme ADHD. So
I know how that goes.
yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that I had some of those same tendencies until we started seeing a specialist at the Winston Center, and they're like, "Hey, mom, this is a genetic thing," and I'm like, that explains a lot. So I've been learning a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I highly suggest anybody that's listening to this right now, there's a lot. I got a lot of my information that helped us out a ton. It was Dr. I think his name's Dr. Charles Berkeley, and he's got a whole YouTube series on like helping kids manage their ADHD, and like what to expect and everything like that. Like it's really awesome. Like it's like an hour and a half, 2 hour like lecture that he does, but like it's all online. And like I watched that whole thing, and it was just like everything that I was listening to. I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Like this is why I was this way when I was a kid. Holy shit! Like, so I would definitely suggest anybody like who's wondering. And I learned a lot about myself too, which was really cool.
I'll have to
And
check him out.
yeah, oh yeah, it's great. And then also one of the things that they said is like, if you have a kid with ADHD, like if you're a parent with ADHD, like there is a 50% chance that every kid that you have will also have ADHD. That's just how like genetically intertwined it is. So yeah, my kid didn't stand a chance. Like I feel like my percentage is probably higher. I don't know. I got it pretty bad. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
So he's our youngest. He just turned 17 in September.
yeah,
He's everything football, like lives, breathes, sleeps football. He's
yeah,
trying basketball out right now. We found that as long as he's in something active, it helps him to kind of
yeah,
helps with his focus and stuff. So
absolutely.
the next one up from there is going to be 21 in January, the
Mhm.
end of January. We'll be taking her to Vegas for her birthday. That's what we've kind of done with all of our kids. We do a
Yeah,
Vegas trip. So
that's
for their
awesome.
21st birthday. The next one up from there is turned 22 last June, and then the oldest turned 25 in October. So,
Yeah. And so, I mean, you've got a like that's pretty decent, like, spread of like where
mhm.
like different parts and stages of life that they're at and things like that. So that's cool. And like you were saying, like you have a lot going on. You have a lot going on, and yet you're still here and you're still crushing it and you're still putting in that work on a regular basis towards your goals. And so for
Yeah.
those that are listening right now, what like I usually like to save this part for kind of the end, but like if I would like to kind of like start like with this, but like if you could have given yourself advice like Kourtney Miller, like 2022 prior to like, getting after it when it comes to your goals, like what would you wish you would have told her? Or like what do you wish you would have known like back then?
Probably to, I probably would have liked to have given myself a good hard shake and be like, it's okay to put yourself first. I'm pretty guilty of constantly putting myself on the back burner to make sure everybody around me is taken care of. And I quickly learned with my health declining the way that
Yeah.
it was, and kind of being told you're going to end up in a wheelchair, and
Yep.
you should consider disability. Let's see, the last time that I was told that I was barely 34, so
Yeah.
it was kind of like a hard wake up call there, and I just kind of learned that I shouldn't feel guilty about putting my needs
Mhm.
front and foremost, because without doing that, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what I've done and be able to be where I'm at now. So,
Yeah, and be there for your family in the way that you want to be
mhm,
there for them. Because the other thing too, it's like a lot of times we can get so wrapped up in the chaos of it all and just trying to get our head above water, like, and there's just so many things going on that we do put ourselves last. Because like, how can I put myself first when there's all these other things going on that need
mhm,
me to put them first? And it's just like, yeah, but like, and it's hard to think of it like when you're in it. And some people might even like know that it's coming or that it's looming or that it's going to happen if they don't do something about it, but they're still so kind of like caught up in the whirlwind of it all, just trying to keep everybody else good, that they still keep putting themselves on the back burner. And it's like, but like, what happens if, like you said, like you ended, what would have happened, if you would have ended up in a wheelchair, like all these people that you're taking care of and putting before you, like they would have all been in a way worse off spot, like at this point, if that had happened, probably because like you're not able to be there for them in the way that in the capacity that you're there for them right now. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things. It's just like I love that you said that, because I think a lot of people, especially moms and especially people in caretaker positions, like a lot of times they just chronically put themselves last to the point that they just reach a burnout point, or something bad happens, or what, like there's a lot of scenarios that could come to fruition that aren't good, that aren't going to, be, uh, good long term, especially. So I'm really proud of you for like, like kind of, shaking shaking yourself to an extent, and like, and getting something, getting something moving. Cause like since then, right. So we had our last podcast together. It was in June of 2023.
Mhm.
And in that title of that podcast, I highly recommend everybody go check it out. I think it was either 376 or 276. I can't remember, but highly suggest go checking it out. Cause in that one, the title, like, it says like she's down 45 pounds. Where are you at now? Like, where are you at now?
I am literally less than a pound away from my goal weight.
Yeah.
So, and I think when I did the math before we jumped on, I think it was 73 pounds
Yeah.
since starting with you.
Yep.
When I started my journey altogether, I was at 223 at my peak. So
Yeah.
223, that's 88 pounds total since
80,
I started.
88
So
freaking pounds down. Like that's incredible. And like right now, like for where you're at, like, cause, and you're fairly short, like, let's be honest, like it's
5 foot even.
oh,
5
yeah. So
foot.
like, so like for your frame and everything like that, like, I mean, that's damn near close. Like that's approaching like almost half of your entire weight almost,
Mhm.
that's pretty damn impressive. Like that's just one of those things. It's just like literally like a weight off of your shoulders. And even at the time when we first, were starting off, and there's been a little blips here and there that you've had to take care of, but you're going through a lot of different, like you were having like really bad, like spinal stuff going on, or like
Yeah.
stuff in your neck, and like, and all of that. And you were like going through all of that. And like they were, you know, there's just a lot of moving parts going on, and a
Mhm.
lot of like uncertainty. And it's just like, and now I feel like, nothing's ever perfect, right? But I feel like in a lot of ways, like you just seem so much more confident and like capable in your day to day, that it's just been really cool to see that happen for you.
Well, I feel more confident, so that's
Hell
huge.
yeah.
But yeah, I
Let's
mean,
go.
some of my health stuff I have is going to be lifelong.
Mhm.
So it for me, it was a matter of, and it's going to progress. So for me, it was a matter of taking control and slowing that progression so that I could have as much of a quality of a life as I could
Yep.
while I could. So,
And it's that whole getting ahead of it kind of thing, and
mhm.
trying to mitigate as much as possible, and just, yeah. And that's super cool. So for you, so like, we're pretty damn close to where you're at right now, like as far as what your goal was. But like we're continuing to work together, right? Like you
Mhm.
just extended for the next year, right?
Year,
Yeah,
we
year,
did a year, yeah.
which is freaking sweet and amazing. And I'm super excited to keep working together. Somebody who's watching this right now, they might be thinking, well, like, if you're so close to what your goal is right now, like, why would you, extend? What's next, right? So I wanted to ask you that on this, like, for you and what your goals are, what is, on the horizon for you? Like, what are some things that you're wanting to accomplish, in the next year?
Oh God. So I've lost all the weight, but there's some parts that need some major toning.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Body
um,
recompact.
yeah. So I kind of want to, once I get and maintain my goal weight, it's going to be that continuing to learn the healthier lifestyle, and so that I can maintain that. But
Mhm.
I want to tone and oh gosh, what is how do I want to word this? Um, I guess I just want to continue building those healthier habits, and
Yeah.
keeping myself just going, I guess. I want to
Yeah.
be able to get back to some of my hiking and things that I used to be able to do.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely. And I love that too. And I think it's one of those things too. It's just like, I know, like, I know the value, the value of it, like, regardless of like if it's my program or something else. But like the act of investing in yourself, like of betting on yourself, of, you know going forward, and putting something on the line, of saying like, having mentorship, and having like, or a coach or something along those lines, like, it makes such a big difference in terms of the outcome of those goals, like,
mhm.
happening, and the length of time it takes to make those goals a reality, and like the security and knowing like, I've got like, and we've worked together now for, like it's been 2 years. Like
2 years, yeah.
you started officially on December 1st, 2022. It's like having somebody that, like has your best interest at heart and wants to see you succeed and wants to like
Hmm.
get you to that next level. Like that can build a lot of, I feel like self-belief, but also like confidence in knowing like,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
like, I got this. And even if there's a time where I feel like I don't, like, I can just ask Austin, or I could just ask, the coaching staff, or I can make a post in the community or whatever. And like, and know that like, it's going to work out and that we'll figure it out and we'll work through whatever plateau, comes our way kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like I feel that, cause that's how I feel like that's why I have mentors. Like I want to continue to grow, and I want to be around people who are at, a level that I want to be at or beyond.
Hmm.
And, having access to that, like, it really does just like, I don't know. It's just like, it helps you see the potential that you have within you that, others might see in you too. And it's just, I don't know, they help pull that shit out, which feels good.
Yeah, because like my family's been huge. They've been a huge key part too, and
Mhm.
helping and supporting and my husband. God, he between him and my mom, like I was back to back surgeries. Like there was a point where like I was ready to sign over rights to my youngest because my youngest is the only one that's biologically mine. But
Yeah.
and this is prior to my husband and I actually reconnecting. So I mean, I've been dealing with health stuff for
Yeah.
God 15 years now.
Yeah.
And but I was to the point where like the first set of doctors literally was like, there's nothing we can do, like, and so I was getting really close to signing over so that my parents had custody of my kid because we thought that's the direction my life was going.
Yeah.
And I kind of just was like, nah, I'm not ready to take that as the final answer. So second opinions and things, and then learning that all the different meds and stuff I was on helped contribute to like the weight gain, and then the struggle. It's almost like I had to fight against a brick wall to even get the initial ball going to
Yeah.
lose any of that weight because you know the med cocktail and stuff that I was on and all the other stuff,
Mhm.
and then of course all the pain
Yeah.
and restrictions that my body had. So I battled for God almost 2 years of trying to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Finally, um, saw a non-surgical weight loss
Mhm.
doctor who pushed medications,
Yeah.
which um, helped to get that initial ball rolling, right?
Yeah.
But then it was a case of you see them like once every 3 or 4 months, and it's don't eat more than 1,200 calories, but they don't give you any help with
Yeah.
proteins, carbs, anything else that you should be supplementing. It's just don't go over 1,200 calories and take these meds. So joining here, I've actually learned more from this program than I have from my weight loss doctor, and it's to the point now where when I go in for my checkups, she starts the appointments with asking if I'm still in this group and if I
Yeah.
have any advice for her.
Oh, that's sick. I was like,
So
damn, I'll put a
um,
stamp on that. We'll go put that on a on a quote.
yeah, it's really cool. So she's kind of invested in following my journey
Yeah.
by proxy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is so cool. I knew that you communicated with your doctor to a degree about that. I didn't realize it was to that extent. That's really cool. I didn't know that, but yeah, no, that's so true. And the one thing that kept like in my mind as you were talking and kind of telling that part of your story, like in my mind, like the kind of phrase like become undeniable, like was like running through my head, and that's just like I don't know. That's just kind of like the type of person that you are. Like you said, like you were like, I'm not taking that answer as like the end all be all, right? Like you were like, I'm going to get some second opinions. I'm going to be tenacious. I'm going to become undeniable. Like, and here we are, like, a
Mm.
couple years later, 75-ish pounds down, and, you know, you're doing a lot of the things and in a lot of ways, that I feel like maybe Kourtney, like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe wouldn't have thought would have been even a possibility. Like it's really cool to just see what it's a lot. And a lot of times people want to rush the process. I feel like, or they're trying to
Can't
get
rush
there.
it.
And it's like people, they overestimate what they can accomplish in a day, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. And it's just like the complete like I don't know, like switch up that like a transformation that your life has seen over these last couple of years. It's so cool. Like every time I look at your client spotlight, like, and I was going through whenever I was, making some Canva stuff earlier. Like I saw it and I was like, if there was like, I wouldn't even know that was you, like, honestly, like at the beginning, just with how different it is, like, and just and you just look so much healthier and happier, and like I don't know, like right even before we started this podcast, like first thing I said to you I was like damn, you look great, like you just look like you're freaking glowing, like it's awesome.
Yeah, believe it or not, so my husband, a couple weeks back, maybe more like a month or so back now, I was doing the comparison photos, and I had my where I started, and then like the one that you've been doing on your spotlight,
Yeah,
and I had where I'm at now, and he saw them, and he was like, he got a little teary eyed. He's like, I didn't realize. He's like, I've always just seen you for you,
yeah,
but now seeing these photos and seeing,
yeah.
he's like, I'm proud of you. And I
Ooh.
was like, oh.
That's awesome. That is just so cool. So as far as like holidays go, I got like two more things because I know you got to leave here in maybe like 15 minutes probably because you got a meeting. But holidays, like how what advice? Because a lot of times, and I literally talked about this yesterday on my podcast episode about how, and I think you even left a comment about how like I started like right when the holidays were happening too, like, and it was, it was the best thing I did kind of thing, and because a lot of people are like, either worried about the holidays or they're like, what's the point even like starting if, with Thanksgiving and Christmas and things like that coming, like I may as well just, wait till the new year. Like, what would you say to those people? Like, why did you start like before the holidays?
Because it just made sense for
Yeah.
me. Like, one holiday wasn't going to make a difference, make or break me as far as I don't know. I guess for me, it was just I didn't see the point in waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reached my point where I needed to do something, and if I kept putting it off, I wasn't going to do it. So
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's one of those things where it's just like success really likes speed. And I feel like a lot of times when people second guess or they wait, right? Because I have conversations with people on a daily basis, and a lot of times they're like, I just need to think about it, right? If they want to start their journey or not,
what's to
and
think about?
and that's and when that and I'm like, and oftentimes I'm just like ask yourself this, like, what difference is the next 12 hours going to make in terms of whether or not you want to do your health and fitness journey or not, or you want to start your health and fitness journey or not. And sometimes people are like, you're right, that is it. Let's get this thing rolling. And other times they're like, I would like to think about it. I'm like, respect, you can do that, go for it. But then a lot of times those individuals never come back.
Yeah,
They don't start, or years go by before they do anything. And it's because that little window of that opportunity or window of belief within themselves, or that feeling of like, I'm so sick of this that I need to do something, or that what I like to call is they get into it like into an emotional state, like an emotional like investment state,
right,
where, you know and that comes and goes a lot of times, and you never know when that's going to come again. And so that's why I always tell people, like, if you were feeling like doing something about your journey and starting, like, do not like
don't give yourself a chance to back out.
yeah, exactly. And it's just like, and but I feel like, and a lot of times, those individuals, like that conversation that we have, like, I'm probably the only other person that knows about this even being a thing right now for them, of even them thinking about starting their journey or not. And so it's really easy, and if nobody else knows, it's really easy to like let yourself off the hook or let yourself down
Mhm.
because you're the only one who knows about it. But the one thing I have noticed a lot of times is the people that see a lot of success are the ones that like they bring attention to it, or they call themselves out, or they tell other people that, hey, I'm going to do this thing. and
Right.
then and then it's like, it's not just themselves that they're like backing out on, it's the other people that, that they care about their opinions of and things like that. And I think that does have some power too. But like, just if you're listening to this and you're thinking about starting a health and fitness journey, I don't even give a shit if you want to work with me or not, but like just do something, like take action on that, like that feeling or that emotional like state that you're in, because it can come and go very easily, and it almost certainly will. So like take advantage of it now while you can, because you never know when it's going to come back. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for you, as far as like, oh, actually, I remember this. I want to say this real quick. So like I said earlier, like especially even in the title of this episode, like I mentioned, you're a mom. I
Mhm.
mentioned that you work full time. Like you've
Mhm.
got, like you said, you've got like 3 jobs at this point, and maybe more. Like just knowing you freaking you were somebody that just like is not afraid to put the work in, and that's one of the things that that was one of the reasons that I've felt really uh, confident in you as a client early on. Was I had a conversation, I was talking to Jen, I think, and she was telling me about how like, like it was like I remember when Kourtney was working there, and like she was like super fucking sick, or like she was going, something happened, she was just like horrible shape, like everything was bad, she was just so sick, and she was still fucking in there working her ass off every day, not complaining, like just getting things done.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's somebody with a winner mentality. That is somebody with a champion's mindset. Even if like she might not know it yet, like I know that that's like within you. And I was like, this is going to be such an amazing transformation. I can already tell. And like lo and behold, here we are.
I absolutely love Jen.
But yeah, she's awesome. But getting back to that title thing, like working full time, but also you're an entrepreneur now. Like you just
Mhm.
started a business
I did.
of your own, which is freaking cool. And I would let you have a little opportunity to just plug it real quick if you wanted to, because like from one entrepreneur, like one small business owner to another, like it's not easy. That shit's
No.
hard. That it takes so much. It's so. I would love it though, and I think you're gonna like appreciate it too. There's a lot of parallels between entrepreneurship and a health and fitness journey, like just the mindset and the consistent work and putting
Mhm.
time in, even if there's no like immediate return, like, in which, especially for a small business, there's not, I mean, 9 times out of 10, there's not going to be like the immediate return necessary. Like it's going to take some time grinding away until,
Yeah.
until you start to see that. So like, yeah, I would love it. Feel free to, plug your business.
Absolutely. Oh, fully take that opportunity. So, um, it's called the Artisans Guild. It's an artisan marketplace. So, it's basically right now we have 27 different artisans in the shop, and it's all handmade items by everyday people. We have anything from jewelry to tumblers to like hand sewn items,
Mhm.
candles, soaps. We have part of the my I guess my favorite little spot of it is we have a youth section. I call it our guild fledglings because they're all
Oh, that
guild
is
themed,
cool.
but it's
Yes.
all 17 and under. So because I think it's extremely important to give them,
Hmm.
a pedestal and a push to kind of help them develop their dreams and stuff. So
The
absolutely.
entrepreneur in me is like, yes, like that is so cool. Um, yeah, yeah. If you have other stuff, feel free to keep going. But that's I saw that and I was just like, and I love that idea too, just because like now a lot of times now when you go to like markets and things like that, a lot of
Mhm.
it's just like mass produced like
It is.
bullshit from like Timo or Alibaba or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it, I don't know. I feel like a lot of like flea markets and markets and just things like that in general. Like 'cause I love thrifting. Like I love doing that. My
You
grandma
should
used
come
to take
check it out.
I
We're
will. I
officially
plan on
open.
it. I plan on it. My grandma, she like would take me thrifting and flea marketing and all that, like all throughout my childhood. Like we go Goodwilling and like I love that shit. Like just the hunt of it all and the treasure and like aspect to it. So I think that that's really cool that you're doing something like this. Like where is it located?
It is in Northtown Square, so it's across from Northtown Mall. It's in the little strip with like the DSW, Petco,
Okay, yeah.
STCU.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we are on the Wellesley facing side of the strip. So where the frozen blueberry yogurt is on the corner, we're right
Gotcha.
around the corner of them.
That's
We're in the
awesome.
old float space that was there.
Very,
So there was
very
like the Snap Fitness, the float, and then the blueberry frozen yogurt's the corner
cool.
spot. So
What town or city is this in? Just so okay,
Spokane,
just make
Washington. Yeah, sorry. I forget
there you
not
go.
everybody's local.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Very cool. And like with anything, I feel like, it's going to have its ups and downs. That's just
Yeah.
entrepreneurship in general. It's going to have highs and lows, just like a health and fitness journey does. But
Our
if there's
biggest
anything I
struggle is
know,
foot traffic right now.
yeah. If there's anything I know, it's just like you got that grit in you, and you've got that like undeniability, and that like I'm gonna I'm gonna do it just because I know I fucking can, and I know I owe it to myself, kind of thing. Like that's just the type of person that you are. So I'm sure it's gonna be it's just gonna you're gonna continue to see success with whatever you pour yourself into, because that's just who you are. So yeah, hell yeah, cool. Other than that, I feel like we pretty well covered most things. Any like last minute like advice, or like a golden nugget, or like what's been your biggest takeaway from your journey so far that you feel like you'd like to share?
Oh my gosh.
Not to put you on the spotlight, but
Yeah, no. So like I said it in the last time.
yeah.
Like anybody who says that they're too busy is full of crap.
Yep.
um, Life is not gonna slow down. It's not. There's never gonna be the right, perfect time. The chaos is never gonna end. There'll always be some varying level of chaos.
Yep.
So to me, I just that's become too easy of an excuse.
Yep.
So it
Ooh,
boils down to
tell him.
if you're
Tell him. Tell him, Gordy.
if you're worth it, like if you find yourself worth it, and you should. So
Yep.
just stop making excuses and just do it.
Completely agree. And if you're listening to this right now and you're like, I don't have the time, it's like, you think Kourtney, the fucking mom of four
Preaching
with
to the
10 people
wrong
in her
person
house,
about
who
no
got 3
time.
fucking jobs and started a business, and who's lost 75 pounds, you think she has the time to? Hell no, she doesn't. Think I got the time? Hell no, I don't. But we still make it happen.
I generally do my workouts about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, that's that whatever it takes kind of mentality, and you've had that like whatever it takes mentality like prior, but it wasn't like necessarily directed towards a health and fitness journey yet, and so like at the beginning, and so now it is though, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because you developed that skill, and you've been developing it, and you've been putting in that work, and it's like any like if one person has done it, literally anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is possible. And it's just, it's quite honestly like a matter of shifting what is a priority to you and carving out that time. And maybe getting better with your time management, because a lot of people just aren't very good at that, and that's okay. That's a skill too. Like we can that's something that could be built on and developed too. But I love what you said, because like life's never gonna get like less
Yeah.
chaotic. Like
Nope.
that's just freaking life, guys. Like
Nope.
especially if you're a parent, like it's just one of those things. It's you think you're
It
gonna get
doesn't
less
get
chaotic when
easier.
you no, and it's just
It
like
just shifts.
just do it now. Like get it out. Like start now, get it out of the way. Like you got to fucking learn how to live with the chaos regardless. So you may as
Mm-hmm.
well do it now and start making progress, so that way you can reap the rewards sooner. So, but yeah, love it, love it. Thank you for coming on here today. I appreciate you. Congrats. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking out your business. I'm excited, and I'm also excited for the next year, because we're going to be kicking
Yes.
ass and taking names and
Yes.
body recomping, and probably going to be running a reverse diet so we can get more food, because that would be awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
No, half the time I'm not even hungry. Like I'm forcing myself to eat so that I can
yeah.
even hit my levels, because and that's a combination of the meds that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get off of as soon as possible, and just by being go 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 all the time.
I hear you. Like that's why first thing in the morning after my workout, I drink like an 80 something gram protein shake, because like I, I try to eat lunch, but sometimes I just don't like, and I don't have the time. Like, and I'll bring it, I'll try to bring it, whatever. But like, I get to the end of my day and I'm like, oh shit, I have 150 grams of protein to get in still. This is gonna suck, but I do it anyways. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, but
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And for those of you guys who want to know more, feel free to give her a follow. Do you have a page, don't you, for your business, right?
I do. I do. It's the Artisans Guild. So I have
Cool.
a group, a page, a website, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
I have it all.
Go follow her. And then also keep in mind, guys, Black Friday week. We got sick ass deals that you should take advantage of. Pretty sure you took advantage of our Black Friday deals 2 years ago, and that's when we started. Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I did.
Yep.
You just took advantage of them again.
Yep.
So if that tells you anything.
Yep.
Y'all should go do that shit. So, all right, guys. Other than that, we will talk to y'all in the next episode. Bye.